Yeah, got you loud and clear.
How we doing, brother?
Fantastic. How are you doing? You're in
I'm
camp
great.
fight coming up.
I am. Yeah, I had great sparring this morning. Great little extra cardio sprints at the end. Feeling good. Feeling real good.
You like training these days. You like your new squad, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. I look forward to every. It's not that I don't look forward to the hard days, but there are some hard sessions. There's like Tuesday's going to be hard. Wednesday's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Thursday's going to be hard. Saturday's going to be hard. Every day is pretty hard, and I like to make it hard. I like to keep the pedal down in training. I like to. My coach is always yelling, "Drill how you want to fight, train how you want to fight," and it's true. You gotta go out there and train with that intensity and drill with that intensity to get the cardio up. Anytime someone asks me, "How much do you run? Do you run for your gas tank or whatever?" I say, "No, dude. I just train harder. I just push harder in the gym."
So you're the opposite of Allen Iverson. Practice, practice. We talking about practice?
Yeah, man. I'm fully confident that everyone says I just got that gas tank and I'm walking forward no matter what. And the gas tank is because as you just get so used to doing these movements every single day, um, eventually it just becomes like a muscle memory thing. You don't even get tired doing it. Like I remember my first ever boxing practice, I was dying throwing jabs, and now it's like I could be dead tired, but I'm still able to throw consistently, nonstop, fainting, pressure, and all that. So just because I've done it so much.
People are going to think this is a joke. It's not a joke. You're fighting Marcellus Wallace, which is
Yeah,
the name of the main black character in Pulp Fiction that's
correct.
fixing the fights. And he's a white guy. So the parents, I think Pulp Fiction was, he's a white guy, right? I mean, I
Uh,
look,
no, his father's Crafton Wallace. He's just light skinned.
oh yeah, he's a light skin. Okay. So he's been fighting since he was 7, apparently. He's been a kickboxer for a long, long time.
He's
And
from a fight family too. Like I mentioned, his dad was in the UFC way back when, and man, they came up. Him and his brother came up around this stuff, so they've been training a very, very long time.
yeah, this is going to be an experienced guy. He's probably, seen it all, in the ring to some degree or another. It's going to be a good fight. I tell you what, looking at his style and your style, I was like, man, I gotta be in that audience.
Yeah,
It's going to be it's two styles make fights. This looks like a very good stylistic matchup. The matchmakers definitely, put two of the right fighters together for this one.
yeah, and I think another thing, we're probably the most 50-50 matchup on the card.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not downplaying anyone. There are some fights where it's like I can point this guy's gonna win. This guy's gonna win. I
Yeah.
feel like our fight is gonna be a dog fight. Like we're gonna go out there and we're definitely gonna test each other. I've already accepted that it's gonna be a war, man. Like I'm probably gonna have to eat some shots. He's gonna eat some shots. I'm gonna probably get my leg torn up a little bit. But that's just part of this. Is a fight. That's what he's good at. He's probably gonna spray his jab in my face, set up his cross. Probably gonna end everything with his kicks. And I just gotta. I got to be willing to sit in the pocket and keep coming forward. I've already mentally told myself, if you back up, that's when you're going to start losing the fight. So you got to keep walking forward. So get in the fire and don't go out.
Yeah, he's a 3 or 4 combo guy. Uh,
Yeah,
every combination is ended with a kick to the leg, kick to the midsection, and occasionally a kick to the head. He's, clearly, got that drilled into his training from the time he's been a kid to keep
yeah.
throwing, finish those combinations. And hey, man, sometimes that opens up opportunities. But I'm planning on being there. I'm gonna make sure I'm down there for that one.
Oh
And
yeah, perfect.
yeah, I'm excited for that. That'll be a good one. Are you going to be coming out to the same song that you always come out to?
I I'm thinking of doing that. Yeah, I'm thinking of walking out to the Crimson Flames, but I did walk out to something different when I fought on the
The last card?
yeah, just because the writer of Dragon Ball Z had just passed away, so I did like a little Dragon Ball Z walkout.
Nice.
It was pretty it was like a nice little homage to You already know anime's inspired me a lot, and Dragon Ball Z was one that really inspired me, and that like theme was kind of like a big part of the show. This character Gohan, he just had to let shit go and let his power and strength go out and save the world pretty much. And that's how I felt that night. I have to let shit go out there and just get things done, and I did. So I feel like and Eric, actually, I got a funny thing about Marcellus. When I fought Noah Lopez, Marcellus was in his corner that day. The fight, my first amateur fight in Florida that you went to.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
What,
so
what a
we're
small
coming full
world,
circle.
right? Yeah. Do you know his camp? Do you know who he trains with and any of the people?
Yep, they train out of Inferno MMA. I saw them a lot. I shook hands with them. It's everything. We've talked and stuff. I shook hands with them my last amateur fight. They had one of their junior kickboxers doing. Yeah, Jaden did a junior kickboxing fight that day. They had one of their junior kickboxers fighting on the same card I had my last amateur fight on. Crafton's a cool dude. Crafton's his father. He's got a younger brother, Malcolm, who's probably gonna go places. The guy is super dynamic. He's undefeated as a amateur welterweight right now. Like I'm pretty sure he's won all fights except for one by stoppage. I know a lot out of their team. I'm good for like every time I see their father, I always give him what's up and shake his hand. I got nothing but respect for those guys. And to be honest, when Vince, my coach, told me that we're gonna fight Marcellus, I was like, oh fuck yeah! Like this is like I respect this guy.
Yeah.
But this is a big one because I respect him as a fighter, him as a martial artist. So it's kind of been like a more like you need to go out there because this isn't a free fight because the further I'm getting into this, the more I'm starting to see like just these bullshit matchups, just bullshit fights where it's like you already know how boxing does the same shit where they'll have guys who are like 5-0 fight dudes who are like fucking 0-10 and shit. And that happens in MMA and it's like I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. Um
You're taking the iron sharpens iron approach and actually testing yourself and not trying to go out and stack that record with wins.
Yeah, and this fight is like I said, this is a real 50-50 matchup. This is gonna be a hard fight. I have sure be 100% on fight day if I want to win. I can't go out there like when I fought Elvin Romero, show up fucking 60%. I'll get beat up. So
Yeah.
I gotta go out there do my thing. And right now I feel 100%. So knock
Well,
on wood. I gotta just bring the same intensity that I've had in training to the fight.
and what's the date and where's the fight so we can promote this bad boy properly for you?
This
Uh,
will be on June 22nd at the Coliseum in St. Petersburg. Coliseum's a big old event center that they got down there. So right local finally. I've been fighting freaking Orlando, St. Orlando, Fort Myers. So it's nice to fight right down the road. I don't have to sit through a 2.5 hour car ride while I'm cutting 15, 20 pounds to make 55. So this fight's back at 55 as well. So I'm
Perfect.
currently about walking around between 75 and 80. After practice this morning, after about a gallon of water, I was 78. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Cardio, the lower in weight I drop, the better my cardio starts to get. And today, my cardio was just relentless. So feeling good, feeling really good. I just, like I said, I got to go in there and just do my thing, man. You know how I fight. I gotta just come forward and be mean, aggressive, and there's one thing that I've kind of realized throughout my fight career now that I'm at 155 is when I hit people, they don't really like it. You
No.
know, my striking's very I wouldn't say it's one dimensional, but my striking's very dry cut. Like I'm gonna get in the pocket, I'm gonna keep my hands up, and I'm gonna throw and roll. I'm gonna throw and roll, and when I hit you, it's gonna count. So I do think I have the equalizer on paper. Marcellus is definitely the better striker. He's been striking for over a decade.
Yeah.
I've been striking for half a decade. So, like I said, on paper, he's definitely the better striker. Um, but I think I got the equalizer. So that's gonna have to be my X factor. But I can't go out there and do a Josh Emmett, rely on I'm gonna just throw an overhand and pray to God it hits. No, I don't think he's gonna let me do that. So I gotta be sharp.
Got to be smart. Got to be smart. That's a Saturday night. What time's the card start in St. Pete?
So this is gonna be a pro am card. So you watched that last card I fought on in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
I had 17 amateur fights on it. That card started at 4.
Yeah, I
So
know. I know. That was
pro
great.
card, yeah, pro card didn't start till about 8. So I'm gonna do a rough estimate 8. I think I'm late on the card too. I think I'm gonna be co-main or featured bout. So really probably 10:30, which you know me, I hate fighting late. I hate sitting there all day like I gotta fight, I gotta fight.
Yeah.
But I've learned to keep the nerves down. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Back then, like when I first started fighting amateur, I would let this stuff eat me up for like right after weigh-ins. I'd be just like all day, like just shaking, not even able to like just white knuckling driving my car and laying in bed at night, just noticing I'm like so tensed thinking about it. Now it's like I'll wake up, play video games, go get my shakeout, get a nice little sweat going, hitting pads, wrestling, go home, shower, relax, listen to some music. Last time me and Meg went for a walk around the complex we were staying in at the Airbnb and just enjoyed my afternoon, man. I've put it in my head. You do this shit every day. It's okay. Like you're gonna go out there and you just gotta perform now. You do it every single day.
Yeah. Do you in the dressing room, do you listen to music back there?
Um,
Are you pretty dialed in and focused? Or are you trying to chill out in the dressing room a little bit too?
I used to listen to music, but I'd find myself getting way too like amped up. I will when I'm sitting at home. I've told you this. I'll watch like a few clips of specific scenes in animes that I like. I'll watch those, and then I'll be like, just kind of like a little reminder, like, all right, this is why you're fighting. This is why you're doing this. In the locker room, I won't really start to dial in until like Vince says, all right, let's wrap up. And then when I'm hitting pads and stuff like that, when I just feel my knuckles sinking through and I get gloved up and I'm warming up, I don't know if I mentioned this. When I had my first pro fight against Tommy, wasn't it wasn't like I was trying to project doing this. It's just something that kind of started coming out of me. Like I was just crushing pads with Vince and I was just flipping, rolling, and he was having Alon do takedowns. I mean, I'm just chucking them off. And he's like, all right, take a minute. And I was walking up and down the locker room like this, and I was like, "This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. 8 years training for this. Like you're here now. This is it." And like I wasn't even trying to force like I just started saying this stuff. And afterwards, my coach was like, "Man, it was really something to see you in the locker room." And I was just pacing back and forth, like, "I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him. He's not gonna like when I touch him." Just I don't know, like something started coming over me where I just started exuding confidence, exuding like, and same thing when I fought Gus, and it was like, this is like he ain't gonna like when I hit him. He's not gonna like when I hit him. He's not gonna like when I take him down. I was like, I got something for his ass, just walking around and like slamming pads, and just everything's popping good, everything's flowing good, and it's interesting. I feel like I started getting taken over. I don't know, it's weird.
Well, I mean, you're such a nice guy normally. You almost have to flip that switch. Is you
Yeah,
yeah, if you don't flip that switch, you can't go in there being the same nice guy that you are 24/7 and walk in there like that. It has to be, a different person, a different alter ego of yours, like a superhero alter ego in a lot of ways. Have to be, right?
I laugh at the superhero because my team, man, they kill me. They've been calling me this. They've been saying, "There's our superhero. That's our superhero. Look at him. He looked like a superhero." They all call me a superhero now. So it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, it's like when Clark Kent takes off the glasses, pulls open the shirt. Like that's how I feel like you got to be. And even when I walk to the cage, like man, once that light hits me, I just am like I'm in the zone. Like I'm feeling it, the energy around me. When I walked out to that last fight in Orlando, and I came through the curtains and I saw how big the crowd was, I was like, oh yeah, this is. I was like, I like this. And then when I got in the cage and started looking around, I was like, damn, there are a lot of people in here. I really like this. I seen people screaming at me like, "You, I got you," and I was like, I'd point out them, and right after I got the submission, the dudes who were saying you're gonna beat his ass, I pointed at them, and I was like, I got y'all. So
Yeah,
it's I love being a showman up there.
yeah, I know you ham it up when you're kicking ass. It's fantastic, and the crowd loves that. That's what they want. They
Yeah,
want somebody who enjoys that. You deserve to enjoy that. There's, less than 1,000th of 1% of people can ever whip somebody's ass in front of a large number of people that are there to watch to see if they get their ass whipped or whip somebody's ass. It's got to be the best feeling in the world because it is a true one-on-one sport, and it's a battle. It's mano a mano. Who's the better man that night? And kicking somebody's ass in front of one girl and one guy feels great. So it's fucking amazing to do it in front of thousands of people. I mean, it has to be the best feeling in the world.
yeah. I mean, it's really crazy how like my last fight, right when I got back to the locker room, talking about it with my coaches and stuff, and because the last one, everyone's like, even the promoter walked up to me, he's like, "How'd you finish it?" And he's like, "Was that an arm triangle?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I had it locked in before I passed in the full mount." Like when I'm talking about that stuff and recollecting the fight in the back, I'm still amped up, but it's weird. Like once the gloves come off, it's like I'm back to me. Like the
Regular, nice, kind guy. You're like, oh, so yeah, it's over now.
like
Probably
it's like man, it wasn't that bad. It's more of like a relief off of my shoulders. Like I go out there, I have my fun, and if I don't get hurt, it's like yes, we did it. We all that work, we got it done. I'm not hurt. Life goes on.
well, as a fan too. The last card I'd watched so much MMA that day, so I had the computer with the pay-per-view, your pay-per-view, and then I had the card that was on.
Oh yeah,
And I'd watched so many hours that day, like looking down, looking up, looking at this, looking at the TV, that when your fight was over so quickly, I was like, oh, thank God I can shut this fucking laptop and focus on what's going on. But I was so proud and so happy because it was very quick. I think it was the fastest submission or fastest fight of the night.
yeah. I had the fastest finish of the night. Thanks, Smokey.
Yeah, and I mean, that's as good as it gets. This is probably going to be different, I think, but you never
Yeah,
know. That's why you're getting in. I love your attitude to fight the best because this guy, when I watched him, I'm like, this motherfucker, he's fighting a really hard fight here, and I'm like, for a third fight, I was like, this is no gimme. This guy's no bullshit. You know
yeah,
what? You know what I love about the sport in Florida? It's not like Cobra Kai and it's not like that at all. It's a very everybody. There's a mutual respect between teams.
yeah.
You don't see any. I haven't heard of any inter gym animosity. I'm sure there's some inter gym competitions, but I've never heard of this gym hates that gym. I'm sure it exists. Do you know of any gyms that are like warring or feuding in
I
Florida?
haven't. I not to my knowledge. I do know a lot of. I think like Fusion and Dark Wolf always are fighting each other. They're always back. It's like anytime they get matched up on a combat night, it's always those two. Like they got fighters fighting each other.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not like oh fuck those guys or oh fuck this guys or it's nothing like that. In Tampa, I don't really know any like some stuff may be one sided. I've heard one sided like yeah we don't like them, but the other side of like who cares, you know?
Yeah.
And especially in Tampa, like to be honest with you, Eric, I don't want to fight anyone in Tampa. I've trained with a lot of people in Tampa. I have. I don't want to fight anyone from Tampa just because I've trained with them. I've spent time on the mat with them, and I mean,
It's like a
I'm
brotherhood.
yeah, and I always like. And if it does happen, I mean, look at me and Forrest. Me and Forrest train all the time together. I mean, me and that guy. It's like I'm telling you, people. So many people want us to fight again. It's like, listen, come to Kaizen on Saturdays and you can watch us do our 3 rounds. We fight every freaking weekend. Trust me. We go hard every weekend with each other because we do right after sparring, we do 3 12-minute rounds for the sparring. And then me and him are the last two on the mat, 3 5-minute rounds. Yeah, 3 5-minute rounds. And it's like, you want to see us rematch, you can watch, because then everyone will line up and watch us too. And it's like, we fight each other every weekend. We don't need to fight again. We fight each other to push each other to make each other better. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with training in the area. You know what I mean? There's so many people that cross train. Like we have so many people that come from different gyms to train with us. And then on the flip side, we got a lot of guys who go to other gyms like me. I'll go train at RMNU South Tampa MMA and Gracie South on
Yeah.
Sunday. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll get a little extra work with these guys in, and cool with all of them.
Yeah.
I got no animosity, and I don't think they got any animosity towards me either because it's always hugs and what's up and
Yeah.
all this stuff when I see them. But I like the network here in Tampa. I do, and it's it's really unique because it's just such a talent rich area down here in
Just
Florida.
it's getting this is a crazy blow up, a quick blow up too of talent in the Tampa area. The gyms that are now open and the talent that's starting to come out of those gyms. It's
There's some
starting to
good
become a
fucking
powerhouse.
fighters down here. Yeah, there's some really good fighters down here, man. And it's like this is why I moved down here. I mean, I knew South Florida had good fighters, but dude, it's crazy how many up and comers that in the next 5 years are probably going to be fighting at the highest level. It really is, and I mean, just in a few years, because I feel like back then it was. I've only been here a couple of years, but from what I've heard, there were only like the select 10 guys. Now it's like there's so many fucking dudes down here that are. You got probably 3 or 4. It's kind of like an NBA team. Like every gym's got their big 3 guys for each gym, and it's like
Yeah.
you think of all the gyms there. It's like, damn, that's a lot of fighters at the end of the day, and some got even more.
Yeah, this city is not known on the national circuit right now for combat sports. You always think of Vegas or Colorado, some places and Miami. But
Yeah,
I think that this scene in Tampa, and I'm watching it, like I'm watching the fighters come up, and I'm going, holy shit, this is like it's like starting to become a big up and coming scene, like a Nashville for music. This is starting to become kind of an MMA city.
yeah,
And I think in a few years, people are going to be shocked by what's coming out of Tampa. When you
yeah. I
coach,
agree with you. I think in a few years too, we'll
yeah,
have a gym on the similar level of like a Kill Cliff, where you got people who are striving to get to that level to go and move here to just train out of a certain gym. Now, I don't know which one it'll be because, like I said, there's a lot of good fighters in a lot of these different networks, but I feel like it's going to be due for it. It'll be there, and I feel like when I went to Killcliff, that was something I was able to see, like just dudes from all over the world, man. Like, when I say all over the world, it was surprising how many different cultures, ethnicities were in that room all training. And it's like, shit, man, this is crazy.
yeah, I'm
This,
excited. If
yeah.
there's any names that we should be watching that are young guys that you're seeing, may not even be in the amateurs yet, or maybe they're early in their amateur careers, or anybody we should be keeping our eye on.
I think I'm sure you see. I share her a lot. I channeled an amateur girl, Stephanie Calderon.
Yeah,
We call her Stone Cold Steph. Eric, she's got the Amanda Nunes effect. She's a 125er. She
yeah,
fucking might have 115 too, but dude, she just hits so much harder than some of these girls. Her first amateur fight in MMA. She's done a couple kickboxing, but her first amateur MMA fight, she fought a girl who was 16-0 as a kickboxer, purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and Eric went out there and fucking TKO'd her. And I
easy.
think we and then she went out to where the hell's NFC? Georgia. She went to Georgia, beat the brakes off of this other girl, and then she just won a belt in Georgia again last month, and then she's fighting on the 22nd on the same card as I am
Oh, cool.
against who's 7-0. She's like fighting all these girls who were like undefeated, 7-0, 5-0, and she's beating their ass. Like the last girl she fought, dude, just striking clinic, beat the brakes off her. And one thing I was telling her on Monday, I was like, see, I think you got that Nunez effect. I think that a lot of these girls, when they're sparring, they don't have a lot of other girls to spar. She doesn't have any girls to spar with at Argent. Um, but we like actually hit her and she hits us back. So when she goes and fights these girls and actually hits them with the 4 ounce gloves, I don't think they expect to get hit that hard. And it's kind of like and you can see it, man. Like that girl, the girl she fought who had the 16 kickboxing fights, dude, the second she hit her, that girl, what the fuck was that? And then Steph just started walking her down, just fucking dropped her, walked up, hammer fisted over the head. The girl got up and then she just put her away. And it's like they don't like getting hit.
Stone,
They
Stone Cold
they
is a good name too. Stone Cold's a really strong name.
we all Stone Cold Calderon. That's what we've been saying, and I mean, she's a menace, man. She is. I feel like I mean, I could praise all of us, all the people we got in the gym, and my boy Dave Bergita, who's been my main training partner since he came to Kaizen. Dude, this guy, Division I wrestler out of Virginia Tech. Trust me, that's why. That's why when Tommy was trying to shoot takedowns on me, I was throwing him right off.
Yeah,
Uh,
VT's wrestling program is elite. That's where I went to school. So they're always up there competing for national championships as a team, and individuals usually end up, winning or placing in the top three. It's a great program, the
yeah,
VT wrestling program. So yeah, if you're
and
training with him, you're
he,
getting some work.
yeah, and he's a menace with his wrestling, and it's like he has his pro. It's so hard to find a Division I All American a fight, but he's finally got a fight on the 22nd against another individual I've trained with before, who I've trained with a lot, Mike Visa. So it's like I I hate to see training partners fight, but that's how the sport is. But man, Dave's a problem. Dave is a problem, and he's got his pro debut finally. He went 5-0 as an amateur, now he's going pro. So
If you get a woman that's coming through there that has not been named yet, okay, like an up and coming female that enters the gym, consider calling her Diddy and seeing if you can make it fit. And just say because she's beating so many bitches that she's like Diddy. It
uh,
not controversial, yes, but it would be fucking hilarious.
controversial, but it would go a long way. Hey, what's a little what's MMA without a little controversy? That's what gets shit going nowadays.
She
People
would
love it.
instantly be hated and loved by everybody. People would be like, "What? This girl's got to be out of her mind." Well, nicknames are usually given by other people. You're the only person I know that was named your nickname. Like your whole name is a nickname. It's actually you could have 5 different combinations of nicknames out of your name. It's
Yeah,
every time I tell my wife I'm going to go podcast, I put together a different combination of your different names. Thor Thorn. I'm going to go with, I'm just throwing out random Thors and H's left and right. It's pretty
hey,
entertaining.
whatever works. Whatever works
I'm
because
going to talk to Triple T right now. I'll be back in a little bit.
I wanted to do triple T like a triple H, but I was like, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well. But neither does Theron Thor Thorn, so
Yeah, it's
that
quite.
doesn't roll off the tongue good at all. Say
It,
that 5 3 times.
it would have been hilarious if you had happened to have like a really bad lisp.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Theron Thorn.
Couldn't he'd be the only fighter who can't say his own name. It'd be fucking fantastic. If Mike Tyson had been born with your name, it would have been classic.
Oh
So
my
let's
god.